Welcome to PastorLawyer.com. I'm Pastor Stephen A. Smith, pastor and lawyer. I run a personal injury law firm that helps shepherd people through a treacherous path of insurance companies that don't want to pay you when you've been injured in an accident. Please call my law firm 904-357-0090 or send us a message and we'll contact you immediately. Thank you. I went into law because I saw it as a tool to help get people justice. The Word of God says that we should do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. And I feel that it is a noble practice. Despite some of the quips and quotes that people have with lawyers, I do believe it's a noble practice. It gives tools to empower people to do justice on behalf of those who can't do it for themselves. You need a great attorney to walk you through this path because it's treacherous at times. The insurance company, although they take your insurance premium, they don't always want to pay out for when you are actually injured. Sometimes you'll find yourself on the opposite end fighting against your own insurance company in order for you to get compensated when you've been injured at no fault of your own. That's where the law office of Stephen A. Smith steps in. We step in and fight on your behalf to make sure you recover all that you are entitled to under law. Now, if you've been injured and you don't have a permanent injury, you are only entitled to your out-of-pocket medical expenses. However, if you have a permanent injury, it's important for you to recover for pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, loss of consortium, all these different types of damages that we call non-economic, but really permanently impact you for the rest of your life. You only get one bite at the apple, and you have to make the right choice in attorney to make sure you get the full compensation. There's some folks who will settle your case and get you out the door. In times, you want someone who is able to give you a full lay of the land so you know what the right direction to go in. Personal injury law is very fulfilling to me. I'm able to help people who are injured, who come into my office, who are hurt, they're broken, their cars are damaged, they don't know how they're gonna make ends meet, their children will need rides back and forth, and I'm able to walk them through the process and make sure they get a handle on life. The reason why you should select Law Office of Stephen A. Smith is because we actually care for our clients. You're not just another number here. So we work on your case and we do so in a pace that is fast, is quick. We wanna make sure you get your compensation as quick as possible. In the end, that you get recovery, that you recover from your injuries so you can get back on your feet and get back to life as usual again. So I've been pastoring for almost 8 years now, and I've been an attorney for 12, 13 years now. So I've been doing both at the same time. It would seem that those two don't marry, and I get this question a lot. How can you be a pastor and a lawyer at the same time? I realize that they're a lot alike. They're a lot the same. As a pastor, you're a shepherd, and so you lead sheep into the right direction. As an attorney, you're an attorney and counselor. You're an advocate, and you counsel people to give them the right information so that they know the right direction to go. In this personal injury area, the path is fraught with many different treacherous paths. Sometimes you're fighting against insurance companies. Sometimes you're fighting against the other party. The long story short is you have someone that fights on your side and for your side only. And that's what I do. I fight for my clients and make sure they get the compensation they deserve and they get the outcome that they're pleased with. I'll tell you, there's bad apples in both professions, in pastors and lawyers. However, one thing you get from me is someone who actually cares for you. I care just like a shepherd is a pastor that cares for their sheep and leads them into the right pasture so that they can eat and be safe from the wolves or those wolves in sheep clothing. And lawyering is the same way. There are a lot of issues when you get into personal injury law. Insurance companies that have more money than you can ever think of, and they don't care for paying out for injuries that you've suffered, even though you paid your premium. That's when a lawyer comes in, an advocate who will fight for you. And so that's the way I'm able to be a pastor and a lawyer at the same time. They're very similar. And when you have the right one on your side, it makes all the difference. The reason why I practice law, the reason why I do this is my ministry. God gave me this, and I love to help people. When I see people come into my office injured, hurting, not knowing where the next check is gonna come from, their cars are damaged and their bodies are wrecked, I'm able to walk them through the path to get them to recovery, where their bodies recover and they get the recovery that our justice system allows for, and that's money. And so I judge myself and my firm, and our credibility is based on whether we're able to get you money. Your first step is to call my office. When you call my office, you'll get my assistant on the line. My assistant will take your information, your basic information. You'll be passed to me so that I can walk you through the process. I can tell you exactly how this process goes. I also have a video that explains everything step by step of the whole process. So usually I give you a truncated version of an intake process so that I don't waste your time and I'm able to get you exactly where you need to go on an immediate basis. Sometimes it's important for you to get to the hospital. It's important for you to get to a chiropractor. It's important for you to get to an orthopedic specialist so that you can get checked out, because what's most important is your health. After that is to make sure that Hey, it's attorney Stephen A. Smith here, the pastor lawyer. Hope you're enjoying the video. Now, if you've been injured in an accident, or if you just want more content on legal matters, please click below, like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can get more content like this. Now back to the video. Cover the ground floor to make sure that you don't impair your claim. And there's ways you can impair your claim because insurance is involved, and those are laws that are written certainly not for your best interest. And so having a lawyer on your team that knows the process, knows all the tricks of the trade, will make sure that you get the best outcome in the process. Once you sign up with our office immediately contacts the insurance company to make sure they don't contact you again. Your insurance company will contact us for all injury-related matters. Now, they'll be able to contact you regarding damage to your vehicle so that you can get your vehicle adjusted and get money to be able to get compensated or to get another vehicle if you've suffered a total loss. When it comes to the insurance company, they have 30 days to provide us a declaration page and your insurance policy disclosures. That's the way we're able to find out whether you have any UM insurance or whether the at-fault driver, we call tortfeasor, has any bodily injury protection insurance. We call it B.I Insurance. Once we know what's on the table, we know what you're able to recover. You recover from the B.I insurance and from the UM insurance if the party does not have enough bodily injury protection insurance to cover the damage that they've caused to you. UM stands for uninsured or underinsured motorist protection insurance. It's the insurance you would have to get from your insurance company in order for you to have that coverage available to you. Florida is a no-fault state, so it doesn't matter who's at fault for the crash. Your personal injury protection insurance, or PIP insurance, will kick in to pay upfront medical expenses. Now, PIP pays 80% of your out-of-pocket medical expenses, or it will pay 60% of your out-of-pocket or lost wages. Essentially, that is one $10,000 pot. When you go into the ER or you go to a chiropractor, they'll take your insurance information and begin to build your PIP. So when you go into an acute accident injury facility or a chiropractor, you will begin a course of treatment. It's important to continue your treatment as scheduled, or else the insurance company will use it against you to diminish the value of your claim. They'll say you're really not injured, or you're not as injured as you claim to be. And that's one of the tricks that they use to reduce how much money that they pay out on a claim. So it's important for you to continue to treat. After you finish your treatment, you'll reach what's called MMI. That means maximum medical improvement level. At that point, the doctors have determined that they're no longer able to help you improve anymore, and they can only see you on a PRN, or as needed basis. At that point, we will take all of your records and bills, put them together, and then present a demand package to the insurance company. And they'll have a period of time to review it and then get back to us where we begin negotiations. Now, you may treat with the chiropractor, which is pretty much the front door of an injury case, but it may be possible or necessary for you to go to a specialist, including a medical doctor, or a orthopedic specialist, a neurologist, or a pain management specialist, because there are certain injuries that a chiropractor cannot treat. First of all, they cannot prescribe medication. And so you need to see other doctors for those things. It may become necessary for them to refer you out to get imaging, not just an x-ray, which they'll normally do in the office, but an MRI that is able to see deeper into your spine and into other areas of your body. So the way attorneys get paid, the way we get paid is by recovering from the bodily injury protection insurance that the at-fault driver would need to have, or from the UM insurance that you would have. So, and sometimes it's both and. The B.I insurance would have to be the coverage that we would recover from initially, and if we max that out, then we would go to the UM coverage if your claim required the same. So the way attorneys get paid is we get paid 1/3 of the gross recovery of the B.I or insurance policies. The Florida Bar gives a scale that they deem is reasonable for attorneys to be paid on a contingency fee case. That's the reason why you see no fee unless we win, that kind of thing. It's because it's contingency fee based. It means that we can put up money and finance your case up front. However, in the end, we don't recover. You won't be charged anything. The reason why that's the case is because we get paid on the back end if we recover. So there's no fee unless you recover. We get 1/3 of the recovery, and then a pre-suit, and then if it's necessary to go to a trial or a lawsuit is filed, then the amount increases to 40%. 40% on the first million, 30% on the second million, and then 20% on anything over that amount. How do you get paid? Well, first we have to pay the attorney's fees, which I've explained. Then we have to pay the firm costs. Those are the expenses that the firm advances on your behalf. For postage, for anything to receive the records and bills that we need to, or sometimes final narratives from your medical providers. In the end, that amount is paid up front as well. Then the next thing that's paid is all outstanding medical expenses. So if there's the 20% that PIP does not pay, that's the amount that needs to be paid before you get your recovery. So the doctor's office has to be paid. Many times we negotiate those expenses and reduce those expenses. However, the bill has to be paid. Then the client receives the residue of the funds. So the rest of the funds belong to you. And our job is to make sure you recover as much as possible. So after the attorney's fees are paid, we negotiate those medical expenses, and then you receive the residue of the case. So after we've come to a negotiated settlement with the insurance company, 9 times out of 10, these cases settle without filing a lawsuit. After we get the negotiated settlement, then we get a release from the insurance company. You'll be sent that release form electronically for you to sign. Afterwards, they'll send the check, and then after it's deposited, we will, in the process, go ahead and go through all of the numbers to put everything down on a settlement memorandum. You'll have to sign off on that settlement memorandum in order for us to close the case out, because you have to know where every penny of the money for your settlement went. Once you sign off and we sign off, we're poised to give you your check within days. So you'll have an appointment set for you to come in and receive it, or we'll send it to you in the mail if that's the way you choose. The medical bills are paid directly from the firm. So when the insurance company sends the check, it goes directly into the firm trust account, because it holds all funds in trust for the client and for the providers. Once you sign off on the settlement memo, then we'll pay out, our accounting department pays out all of those funds to the respective parties. The insurance company only pays us a check, and then we pay them. Now, when it comes to the 80% up front, the insurance company pays those directly to the provider up front. So the medical provider already gets payment up front for that 80%. It's the 20% that's left over that we'll be paying on the back end. So why does an insurance company send the money directly to you? It's because we're required by Florida Bar Ethics Rule to pay all known lien holders and medical providers the outstanding expenses. The insurance company can't deal directly with the client if there's an attorney representing them. So everything they do is through the attorney, because if they do it through the client and then the client says, well, I didn't know, and come back on them, then it becomes a whole rigmarole. So the long story short is, when you have an attorney, insurance companies can't contact you directly. In my time of pastoring, I've learned that ministry is born out of adversity. And so whatever challenges you deal with, usually it's something that God is trying to put within you to help other people. So when I'm asked, why did you become a personal injury lawyer? There was a time when I was too in a crash. I wasn't at fault, but the at-fault party had no insurance. I had minimal coverage myself. And so I saw what it's like to be injured, not have the resources that you should have to deal with an injury that is permanent. I know what it's like to deal with a new normal where your neck hurts when you look at TV or when you're trying to play with your kids or when you're trying to do work. And so this is the reason why I became a personal injury attorney, to help other people who have been injured by the negligence of others, and to educate folks on how to have the right insurance just in case the other person doesn't do the right thing, you're able to cover yourself. So my ministry, or my personal injury ministry, was born out of that difficulty.